Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Curse that monster. This entire situation just went from bad to worse. Not even Miras can stop him. This is all your fault, Kakarot. You should have finished him off when you had the chance. So just what the heck are we supposed to do now to stop him?
Well, this doesn't look good. A power like that could actually become a greater problem than they all think. Well, it looks like this leaves me with no other choice.
As our story opens up on Earth following the events of Moro having to consume 7-3 on top of also having to copy Maris' abilities, with the two now being shown having to stare off against the seemingly unbeatable enemy, it was only during that point where Vegeta went on to ask, "Great, now what do we do? Just when we thought we had this bastard right where we wanted him, he went and somehow managed to snap a pair of Potaras onto Kakarot's ear in order to merge with him, and now look, where the hell did that monster get a pair of Potaras from anyway?" With Maris responding, Moro was likely very much well aware of the magical abilities held by the Potaras after so many battles that were waged with the Grand Supreme Kai. Moro must have used his magic to spawn and create a pair for himself, and later managed to blindside Goku fast enough to clip one on in order for the two to join bodies. To which only then standing across from them was none other than the newly formed abomination fusion now known as Morku, as Morku went on to respond, "And that's exactly what I did, little angel. You are in fact correct. Through my battle experiences and knowledge of fighting the Supreme Kai," he adds, "I was able to learn more about those earrings he wore, and thus, I was able to create a pair of my own and clip them onto your planet's best fighter to secure my position as the strongest. And now look, are you all impressed?" With Vegeta responding, "God damn him. Now what do we do? Hey, do you have a plan or what, Angel?" "My only suggestion," Maris adds, "would be for us to find a way to try and break that gem of his on his forehead, or just destroy the Potara earrings if we can somehow manage to get hold of them." With Morku responding, "Oh, just you go ahead and try your best. First, I will spill your blood for sport, and then I will tear you all apart and watch you die. Now go ahead, warriors, do your worst." "Actually," he then went on to interrupt, "why don't I start with you? Tell me something," he asks. "How often have you kept up with your training, Gohan? How could you call yourself my son with such laughable power like that to your disposal?" With Gohan responding, What? He's likely tapping into Dad's memories. You may have snuck your way into merging with my father, but no matter what you become or what you try and do, we will always find a way to win." With Morku responding, "Oh, how could you hope to accomplish anything of the sorts when you were already dead?" As before you know it, before anyone could even register as to what had just happened, Gohan appeared as though he was attacked from out of nowhere as his body was sent flying outwards, with Vegeta having to even ask, What was that just now? What just happened to Gohan? I couldn't see him move." "Were you able to see it?" With Maris responding, "Yes, I was just barely able to follow along, but I saw it. His movements are unlike anything they were before," as fortunately enough for Gohan, with Piccolo being shown grabbing him, it was only just when Piccolo was shown catching Gohan where Piccolo went on to respond, "Gohan, I got you. Are you alright?" Piccolo, I didn't see him move, Gohan says. Oh, we'll die if we run in there, Piccolo 17 went on to chime in. Let Maris and Vegeta try their luck while we think of a plan, and fast, he says. As it was only just then with both Vegeta and Maris being shown taking action together was when Maris went on to then tell Vegeta, oh, we have no other choice. On me, Vegeta. We'll sync our attacks up and attempt to take him down as one. We must hurry. It's the only other option that we have, with Vegeta responding, God damn him. To which even then, despite both Vegeta and Maris' best efforts in attacking Morku, our two heroes had then quickly realized the threat level that Morku was, as even Vegeta went on to respond by shouting, you aren't going to be so lucky this time. Right, you aren't going to get away with your crimes, Moro. As it was only to the surprise of our heroes, with Morku now being shown having to dodge each and every single one of their strikes, where Morku went on to respond, I'm honestly quite amazed by this. How are the two of you able to do so much damage to me before, but can barely even touch me as I am now, he asks. Remarkable, isn't it? I was able to see everything as though you were moving in slow motion, he adds. And so now that I've given the two of you the chance to attack me without stopping you, it's only right that I now respond in kind, Morku says. Look at what you've been reduced to. You will always and forever hold the title of being second best compared to me. I wonder what hurts more, your skull or your pride, Morku says. To which as soon as Morku was shown having to headbutt Vegeta down onto the ground, that's when Morku went on to continue. Now you stay right there, mighty warrior, and I'll be back with you shortly. And then there is you, Morku shouts. I haven't forgotten about you, Agent Maris. And to think that you were of divine origin this entire time. My evolution is solely attributed to you after copying your power and merging with the Saiyan, he shouts. In which upon the moment of impact, as Morku was shown punching Angelic Maris in the face, it had now become very painfully clear that even despite the difference in power with Angel Maris and Evolution Blue Vegeta having to team up against him, they were even still during that point no match for the newly formed fusion, as Beerus went on to chime in, well, that's just great. Just look at where they all are now, Whis. And if this continues to go on, then I'll be left with no other choice than to step in and handle this situation all by myself. What a bunch of idiots, Beerus continues. Even that brother Maris of yours. How could they allow that prisoner to just copy their power so easily on top of having Goku forcefully merge with the beast? This may in fact turn out to be far more dangerous if he is allowed to continue with his ways, Whis adds. And since the escaped prisoner is already meddling with angelic power, I think it's best if you sit this one out, Lord Beerus, and let me handle this, Whis says. I'll be sure to make this quick, with Beerus quickly having to turn by asking, wait, what do you mean you'll be handling this? Surely you aren't thinking about fighting that creature now, are you? No, I wouldn't really call this a fight if the battle is simply one-sided, Whis responds. I'll be right back, Lord Beerus, as all the while in the meantime, when then going back to Angel Maris and Morku, it was now made painfully clear that even with Maris being a rookie angel, he still stood no chance in taking the Abomination fusion down. It was only upon having to then be shown uppercutting Maris in the stomach where Morku then from there went on to tell him, are you beginning to regret the decision of revealing your true identity to me when you did, Patroller? Look at how useful your power has become to me on top of merging with that Saiyan who also shared the same strength. Look how weak you are compared to what I'm capable of now, Morku shouts. You will not live long enough to regret your actions. That I will make sure of, he says. I am having too much fun, and before I put an end to you all on this tiny space rock you call home, I want to cherish the little moments we will have together before I destroy you. To which as soon as Ultra Instinct Morku was from that point then shown kicking Angelic Maris out into the distance and flying right past Vegeta, the others who were off on the sidelines were desperately trying to come up with a plan to stop him, as Gohan went on to chime in, but Piccolo, we've got to try something. He's going to slaughter them out there. We can't just stand by and watch this. With 17 responding, even if we attempt to attack him, how are we going to make a difference if Vegeta and that angel weren't, he asks. The risk is too great for us to chance it, he adds, so we have to strategically think of a plan first instead of just blindly charging in to fight him. This is truly my greatest achievement, Morku went on to say to himself. The power that I can feel surging through my body is almost overwhelming. And so with the right amount of control, nothing will stop me, he says. As long as I am able to hold myself together by using these Potaras along with my magic, I will never fall apart again. There is nothing that my body cannot endure, nor what my abilities are limited by now. My body is whole and my mind is focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's victory. I wonder how much energy this planet has to offer me before it's destroyed, Morku says. This will be by far my greatest meal to date. Everyone and everything on this world will become a part of me. They will all be devoured and left to suffer when this day is through. In which moments later, as we then see how Morku is beginning to collect planet Earth's energy by sucking the life out of every living organism on the planet, it was only similar to that of the events that have transpired before, in which a ball of energy was now beginning to form, as Morku went on to respond, yes. And there it is. How marvelous. Just look at the amount of energy I am starting to collect already. I am the mightiest in the universe, the strongest to exist. And despite what you are, whether you are a mortal or a god, he says, I will never perish. As Vegeta went on to sit up by responding, no, there's nothing we can do. Damn it all, he's too strong to fight head on like this, and we can't let him do what he did on Namek. I can't even separate his merger with Kakarot either. It's not like it was before stealing the angel's power. But it was soon enough as Morku was beginning to now collect even more power, as he from there went on to continue, and now I will become even stronger than I am within the moment, and once I consume this planet's energy, I will then go on, but then, it was only before Morku could even finish his sentence where from out of nowhere, Whis had now gone as far as to grab onto Morku's arm by telling him, I'm afraid this will be as far as you go, he says. Though your business with those whom you want to destroy has nothing to do with me, he adds, what does concern me is the angelic power you currently wield, with Morku having to respond, how did you grab me without me being able to see you move? Wait, I know you. You're that patroller's older brother. You're just like him? Of course you are, Morku says. I can see it now. You're an angel just like Maris, only stronger. How dare you lay your hands on me, Morku says. You will either release your hold on my arm or I will do to you just as I did to the others and break you. From what I can gather within my memory, you aren't allowed to get involved or you will be destroyed. So now you will either let go or face the consequences, with Whis responding, I wouldn't go that far if I were you. You may be able to gain access to who I am from your memory of Goku and Maris, but there is much more to me than meets the eye, he says. It was as I said a few seconds ago, this will be as far as you will be going. But that was when instantaneously Morku was able to pull away from Whis and stepping on back by asking, what are you talking about? Are you insane? Why should I stop now when I'm just getting started? I will only warn you once, Whis responds. Rid yourself of the Saiyan Goku along with the angelic power you have stolen, and I will allow for you to leave with your life intact, with Morku responding, oh, is that so? Maybe now I'll be able to finally have some decent competition. Now let's just see how good you truly are, and I'll show you why you are just like the rest of them, Morku shouts. It was only as Morku was shown attempting to attack Whis, with Whis now suddenly vanishing, it only then became very evident for Morku that he was now beginning to get himself involved in a a fight that he had no business being a part of, with Morku's initial strike being shown destroying the landscape behind where Whis stood as Morku went on to shout, "Now I got you, what? But where did he just go? He disappeared." But it was only then, to the sudden surprise of Morku, where from out of nowhere Whis was now shown making his way ever so closer towards him, as it now appeared as though he was just about to attack him, with Whis having to respond, "I don't think you quite understand the difference between your power and mine, but allow me to show you a bit of just what it is that I'm talking about." "What in the world? His speed? Oh no," Morku says, as it was only just barely, with Morku being shown avoiding Whis' strike as Whis had gone as far as to cut his cheek. It also now appeared as though Whis was genuinely surprised by Morku's reaction, as Whis went on to respond, well, that was actually quite impressive of you to avoid my strike, even if you barely managed to pull it off in succession," he says. And this infuriated the newly formed fusion, as Morku from that point was shown on the offensive in doing what he could to try and strike Whis, as Morku went on to shout, "How dare you make a mockery of me? You don't think I'm any sort of match for you because you have more experience with Ultra Instinct? In time, I will crush you just like I crushed the others. Your power will belong to me." But then, in typical fashion, that was when Whis was shown having to literally stop Morku's attack with one finger, as Whis went on to respond, "And so how do you plan on proving me wrong with power that isn't even yours to fully understand?" he asks. "I'm not even trying, and you are already getting flustered," with Morku asking, "But how? This shouldn't be happening to me." To which, unfortunately for Morku, in fact it was, because with Whis now being shown having to respond by uppercutting Morku in the stomach, it was just as Whis was shown doing so, where he from there went on to tell him, "Experience is key, which is something that despite having access of, you lack severely," he says. "Now then, tell me, do you still think I'm like the rest? I would encourage you to try again, but this time at least act as though you mean it," with Morku being shown in tremendous amounts of pain by responding, You actually hurt me, but from just one punch? Why am I so damaged from just one punch? I won't let you take this moment away from me." To which, once again, as soon as Morku was shown having to lunge forward and doing what he could to grab Whis was effortlessly shown making easy work of every single one of Morku's attempts of attacking him, as Whis went on to dodge Morku's grab by responding. Again, that level of speed simply won't cut it. But let's see something, he says. "I wonder if your body is sturdy enough to hold itself together after this. Think fast now." In which, seconds later, as soon as Whis was shown having to perform his signature chop by striking Morku in the back of the neck, even the others who were left on the sidelines and having to watch this had noticed the drastic difference in this battle between the two, as Piccolo went on to chime in, "Are you guys seeing this right now? Whis is making this look so easy. That monster doesn't stand a chance," Gohan chimes in, "but I don't think Whis is aiming to destroy him. No, there's got to be something that he's waiting to do that he's yet to show us," he says. And the moment we then see how Morku had fallen down onto his hands and knees, that was when Morku went on to put this into question by asking, "What's going on with me? Why am I struggling this much against him? I shouldn't be. I have within me the power to destroy entire worlds just by breathing, and yet somehow I can't even lay a finger on this creature. I must find a way to grab the back of his neck and copy his power immediately. I must find a way to overpower this angel and turn this entire fight around, or I won't last much longer like this." Now, are we done here, Whis went on to ask, or are you still foolish enough to believe that you could still beat me in a fight? With Morku responding, "Not only do I believe that I have what it takes to beat you, but I know that I have what it takes to destroy you. Now die!" In which, from out of nowhere, the second Morku was shown firing an energy blast directly in front of Whis. To Morku's absolute shock, through the smoke, Whis was shown unharmed and having to stick his index finger out by responding, "That wasn't bad, actually. I felt it, but you seem to be in a hurry. That much is clear to me," he continues. "Well, I don't want to keep you waiting around any longer than you need to, and now I will hereby show you with this very finger that I used to negate your blast that it will be all that I need to show you the gap between your stolen power and mine, he says. What the heck? Wait, what are you going to? But then, before Morku could even go as far as to process what was going on, it was only from out of nowhere where Whis' index finger was from there shown tapping onto Moro's crystal by responding, "Ah yes, there we are. I believe this ought to do the trick then. Bullseye." What's going on? What's happening? Morku asks. What did you just do to my body? I can't hold it! As it was only seconds later, to everyone's surprise, Whis had now managed to separate both Goku and Moro 7-3 from their fusion, as it would only now appear as though this was in fact the opportunity that our heroes were looking for, as Vegeta went on to respond, "Angel, look! Their fusion! We separated them! This is it! This is our only window of opportunity that we have left, so we must act on it now!" "Yes, of course," Maris responds. "Whis baited him this entire time. Quickly then, Vegeta. We must hit him with every bit of power that we have left and obliterate Moro once and for all." To which, as Vegeta and Maris were then shown quickly charging up for their most powerful attacks, it only now appeared as though Moro did not seem to notice either of them behind him, as Maris went on to continue, "Look, he doesn't notice. This is it. Put everything you have into this next attack. We must make sure to wipe him out for good this time." To where Moro's mindset seems to be elsewhere as he was looking down on his hand, as Moro went on to comment, "No, it's gone. That power, that fusion I was holding on to, it's all gone. Curse him. I must hurry and find a way to." But then, that was when from out of nowhere, Moro had stopped in his tracks in noticing Goku leap up in the air by responding, "You, what are you doing, and just where do you think you're running off to? You aren't leaving that easily, Saiyan." "Who said I was running away, Moro?" Goku asks. "It's over. You had your chance." As from out of nowhere behind him, we only from there see how both Maris and Vegeta had put everything they have into this final attack and making sure to eliminate Moro for good, as with the two now being shown having to combine their attacks with Moro now being shown turning his head, it was only from there where Moro went on to ask, "What's this?" No, Maris and Vegeta, wait, no, this is not how it's supposed to end!" But it was already too late, because with Maris and Vegeta shown having to put everything into this attack and wiping out Moro completely, even Goku himself was seemingly surprised by this as he was looking on down, as Goku went on to comment, "Whoa, that was close, just look at that blast." And I told that creature that this wasn't going to end very well in his favor, Whis chimes in. A job well done. In which moments later, as it was now finally declared that our heroes have now officially destroyed Moro once and for all, it was only right after having to be shown destroying Moro where both Maris and Vegeta were shown collapsing from exhaustion, as Maris went on to comment, "Finally, that monster is gone, and gone for good, never to cause any more damage onto this world or any other ever again. We nearly lost it all," with Vegeta responding, "Good riddance, that bastard and his stupid magic. I owe you more than I can possibly express for helping us during our time of need," Whis, Maris says. "Thank you for instructing us with your help. I am also very sorry for the trouble that I may have caused by allowing for him to copy my power," he continues. "Thank you for speaking to the Grand Priest and convincing him to have me fight my final battle against Moro." "Wait, hold on a second," Goku chimes in. "You actually fought Moro's fusion that I was a part of, but aren't angels not allowed to fight given it taking up some kind of a bias here?" "Well, yes," Whis responds. "However, I didn't take this more like a fight, but rather I took this more as though I was helping train you all as a means to justify my actions in getting directly involved here." "You're still an idiot, Kakarot. Don't think this changes anything between us," Vegeta says. "You're lucky that we didn't blow you into pieces. And so now I did what you couldn't along with the angel, and that's win. While you botched everything up. again. You never learn, Vegeta says. Ugh, what an absolute mess, Beerus went on to chime in. Let's head back home, Whis. I've seen enough here today. And as for you, Beerus continues, you better count your lucky stars that Whis did what he did for the sake of preserving this planet, Goku. But hey, wait, Goku says. What exactly do— Oh, zip it, Saiyan, Beerus went on to cut Goku off. You and I are going to have a little chat once I go and take a small nap, because it's time I whoop you back into taking things a bit more serious, because we cannot have what happened here to happen again, as it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the Ultimate Fusion versus Earth's Mightiest Heroes manga chapter one-off special then comes to a close. Now, can you imagine how dangerous a person like Moro would be if he was able to somehow use his own magic to not only go as far as to remember and spawn himself a pair of Potara earrings, but at the same time, within the actual Dragon Ball Super source material, it was said that Moro was not able to sustain Ultra Instinct only because he at the very end realized that his body simply couldn't hold it all together. So what other better way than for him to sustain all of this than by speed blitzing right in front of Goku and clipping on a pair of the Potaras, to where I would like to get your thoughts down in the comment section below about how strong a potential hypothetical fusion of Ultra Instinct Moro and Ultra Instinct Goku would be, and if you guys believe that simply put this would be a very broken fusion to where none of our heroes would be able to remotely hold a candle to such a fusion like Morku. So to that, what I also want to know down in the comment section below is, let's just say if there were any hypothetical stories that you guys want to see me create, specifically either when it comes down to involving the Moro arc or the Granolah arc, comment down below as to what you guys want to see. To where again, I do want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you all so very much for your time. To where, as always, if you guys just so happen to be new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of making sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up right now by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. I hope you guys enjoyed, because let me tell you, there's plenty of more wacky stories where that came from. So again, thank you all so much for your time, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a terrific day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.